In an interesting turn of events, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police is now expected to make arrests soon in the case pertaining to the Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's death. Now, I'm sure that we all remember how Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, just a few days ago, after attending the G20 summit in India, confidently accused Indian agents to be behind the death of Nijjar. We also remember that the sheer number of times he has doubled down and reiterated that these charges made are quote-unquote credible. It is not a secret that Canada has been fermenting terror in its soil, and now it seems that Trudeau is adamant in harboring and shielding the Sikhs for Justice terrorists. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu has made countless threats to blow up India's parliament, attack the World Cup matches in India, and also blow up the Air India flights. Yet he roams scot-free. And speaking of flights, the masterminds of the Kanishk bombing, which killed over 268 Canadians, all Indian origin, were let go of scot-free. In fact, one of them, Ajay Singh Bagri, continues to roam free on the streets of Canada. Now, these bombings have killed a total of 329 people, and there were documents that were published by the Canadian government that go into detail as to how negligence the Canadian authorities had been. Now, there's energetic action that is being taken by the Trudeau government against the death of the Khalistani terrorist, but there are still no action against Pannu. There is still no action against the culprits that blew up the Kanishka flight. Trudeau's hypocrisy is comical, and the big question we ask to the rest of the world is, why is there a pin drop silence? Why is it that the Americans are at this point of time showing a sympathetic ear to Justin Trudeau? Why is it that Americans continue to harbor Gurpatwant Singh Pannu? Why do they continue to harbor the 2611 masterminds, David Headley and Tahawur Rana? To talk about this, let's quickly start off our conversation. I have with me RP Singh. Do we have RP Singh right now? RP Singh, my first question over here. What do you make of this latest development that has taken place? It's expected that there are two suspects that have been zeroed in by the Royal Mounted Police of Canada. There is going to be an arrest that is going to be made. They are being blamed for killing Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Okay. The same question to Harinder Singh Sikka. Harinder Singh Sikka, how do you evaluate the situation?
It's very simple. You know, Trudeau family is arguably the biggest curse on Canada. What you have narrated, what he is doing, how he's doing, how his funding or supporting terrorists. What you sow, so shall you reap. And this is what Canada is all about today. And it is sad that Canadians themselves, and as many Sikhs or Canadians I have spoken to, including former diplomats, they have the same thing to repeat and again, that this man has gone bonkers. Coming to these arrests that they are making.
Mr. Sikka, I'm going to quickly interrupt you. We are not able to hear you properly. We are also not able to see you properly because the place you are speaking from is not well lit. I'll request you to, stop your car or wherever you are so that we can have a better connectivity with you on the show with us. Meanwhile, I also have with me RP Singh. He's the BJP spokesperson. RP Singh, quickly getting a response from you about how do you evaluate this situation. First, Justin Trudeau attacking India, blaming Indian agents for the death of this terrorist by the name of Nijjar. Now there are two suspects that are being zeroed in. They are being blamed for the killing of Nijjar. They are soon going to be arrested. This is as per the reports from the Canadian media.
Well, if they have suspects, they should arrest them as per the law. I mean, if there are Canadians who are involved, they should arrest them because our Indian government has already categorically stated if you have any credible evidence, they should bring the evidence. And merely allegation or saying that some Indian diplomat is involved doesn't work. So till date, they have not given any credible evidence. But if they have some lead or some individual whom they suspect, and they have a legal ground or a proper ground to arrest him, they should go ahead and do as per the law. But merely raising a bogey and merely using Khalistanis as tool to try to handle India, that's not going to work. Because it's not India of 89 or when Kanishka bombing happened. This is India of 2023. So we know how to stand on our issues and subjects, and we know how to take on issues and subjects.
But RP Singh, the precedent that has been set by the Canadian governments, it was Trudeau Senior under whom the Kanishka bombing case was fought in the courts, and we see that of the 3 convicts, there were 2 of them that were released. They were set free. There is one of them who is still alive. The others have been killed, and they continues to roam on the streets of Canada in British Columbia. Now, how confident can we be that these 2 suspects, if at all they are caught, if at all they are prosecuted, that justice will prevail?
Well, let's understand the one suspect who has been killed in the Kanishka bombing was Ripudaman Singh Malik, and then before his death, he came to India and then said that I have full faith in Indian Constitution, and I appreciate the steps taken by the Indian government for Sikh community, and that's the reason that he was killed, because the Khalistanis, whom I don't treat them as a Sikh, because I say that Khalistanis are not Sikhs. So those Khalistani killed Ripudaman Singh Malik because he started understanding and started speaking the truth. And then as per me, Nijjar's killing was in retaliation to killing of Ripudaman Singh Malik. Ripudaman Singh Malik had a very strong roots in Canada, and then was well known for his grip in the Canadian system. But that point aside, if they have some documentary evidence or they have some good evidence, let them prosecute as per evidence. We have nothing to say in that. Because it's an internal matter, and they can deal with this matter internally. If there is someone whom they think is involved from India, let them give the evidence. And Indian government has already showed that they will do the needful, whatever required, if there's some Indian involved in that.
Okay. I'm going to bring in other panelists on the show with me right now. I'm going to start off my conversation with Colonel Shailendra Singh. And Colonel Singh, this is a matter of extrajudicial killing that has taken place, and we are happy, and that the Canadian government is taking steps to find out who the killers of Nijjar were. But at the same time, we also question and demand to know answers from the Canadian government that what happened when Gurpat Singh Pannu was allowed and given safe havens in Canada to hold the referendums for a separate state of Khalistan in India, when there were these tableaus that were put out celebrating this killing and assassination of Indira Gandhi. What happened when there were cases of violence and vandalism that were taking place in Canada on Hindus, on Hindu temples, and Sikhs who were not in support of the Khalistani separatist movement?
If you can please allow me, my friend RP has summarized everything by one-liner. Who is Khalistani? I want to know from any Khalistani that we can debate it very intellectually, very practically, very, very sincerely. Who is Khalistani? It will be me as a Khalsa, my Khalsa community, my Punjab community, my Indian community, my Hindustan community of Khalsas will decide what is Khalsa. And if you want to create a space of Khalsas, I will not let you do it even in Canada. You are spoiling my name. I am from a Khalsa Paltan. You don't know anything, Prudent. What the hell do you know about Khalsa except the money? And let me tell you, तेरे को अगर पैसे चाहिए मेरे से ले, मैं देता हूँ. We will sponsor your candidature, but be a sold out man. What a shameful thing. The Canadians have to see it visibly that your own people got killed in Kanishka and you still didn't do anything. You want me? I'm one of those. I will allow you. I will allow you do investigation. You do. It's your internal matter. But if you are involving as a state-sponsored terrorism, that a terrorist has been killed, well, let me tell you, it is not part of my blood. But yes, I would like to thank anybody who has eliminated an international terrorist, because अगर उस एक को मारने पर तुम्हें इतना दुख है, उसकी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग से कितने लोग मर रहे हैं, उसके सपोर्ट से कितने टेररिस्ट मर रहे हैं, can't you see it? Are you that blind? Is Trudeau is that blind? I will agree, he is blind.
Absolutely.
Is the Canadians too blind? Is the US also blind? If you have, as you claim, that we have a thing on file that the Indian connection is there. If India is not behaving, let's fight it out in International Court of Justice. If my government is that big a terrorist to you, why are you suddenly changing your tone now? That no, it appears India is playing also. We will not play as per your tune. I will not let anybody spoil the name of me
Fair
as
enough.
a Khalsa.
Absolutely. Agreed with you, sir. Harinder Sikka back on the telecast with me. Harinder, while we say that yes, it was an extrajudicial killing, that Nijjar was killed, you are welcome to do all your investigations, arrest the people that were involved. But the point is, don't blame India for what has happened in your country. This was a gang war. The man has been killed. You have zeroed in on these suspects, and it's your case, it's your police, it's your CSIS who are going to be building a case against him and prosecute him. But at the same time, we have put out this charge sheet against Hardeep Singh Nijjar and all that he has done in terms of the terror financing that has happened, in terms of brainwashing youth, in terms of sending out terrorists and paying criminals in India to carry out criminal activities, to carry out terrorist activities and spread a reign of terror in Haryana and in Punjab and in Delhi and in other parts of the country. So, what can persuade Canada and the Canadian government to issue an inquiry, to file a case, to file charge sheets against Nijjar and his associates who are part of this bigger Khalistani terror nexus?
You see, in the developed world like Canada, all the more, though it happens everywhere, you show me the face and I will show you the rule. Second thing is, what you sow, Mr. Trudeau, so shall you reap. The Trudeau family in particular has become a joke. And the joke is on them, on the poor Canadians. Poor means they feel they're poor because their tradition, their culture, everything is going down because of one little family called the Trudeau family. Who has killed whom, nobody knows. But they will give an impression as if India is responsible. And tomorrow, suppose India is not responsible, will they apologize? No, they won't. They will try to swing it in such a manner that India gets a bad name. They will be asking for more trouble from the international community as well. As it is, Mr. Trudeau was humiliated in European Parliament not too long ago. Now come to this particular Khalistan word. Sikhs are not Khalistanis. But those who are supporting this particular tag are no less traitors themselves. You are insulting us, Mr. Trudeau, by supporting the names of these Khalistanis who enter Gurdwara and remove Guru Nanak Ji's and Guru Gobind Singh Ji's pictures and photographs and put the pictures of traitors and terrorists. That's not what we are. That's not people go to Gurdwaras and temples for, to bow down and seek peace. You are allowing drug money on Hawala route from Punjab Gurdwaras to Canadian Gurdwaras, making it white. You are inviting a very serious trouble.
Okay.
You must understand that this money, this kind of name dropping that you are doing, you had no interest when 200 plus people died. You had no interest in Canadians dying on that. You protected, safeguarded traitors and terrorists and and somebody who blew an aircraft, you have no shame left, Mr. Trudeau.
Right.
I'm surprised. I'm
Absolutely.
surprised how Canadians are tolerating nonsense that you are spewing venom against a country like India,
Okay.
which
Okay.
has handled
Yeah.
which has handled tons and tons of adventurous misadventures by Mughals and first by Mughals and by Britishers and then by the Gandhi family in our
Okay.
country.
General Shashi Asthana, now how should India tackle this terrorism situation emanating out of Canada? It has been extremely difficult for India to handle terrorism emanating out of Pakistan. We have continued to ask for the extradition of Lashkar-e-Toiba Commander Hafiz Saeed. We have been failing at it several times for the past several decades, since the last time there was a 26/11 attack that took place in Mumbai. Now we have overseas in Canada, in Northern America, that this nexus of Khalistani terrorism that is coming out and then attacking and hampering India's progress and attacking India's sovereignty. Is there now we I think it's well established that the Canadians are not going to take any action whatsoever in fighting Khalistani terrorism. There is the likelihood of the Americans doing so is next to zero. What should India's action be here on?
Very pertinent question after all the facts have been brought out by various panelists and very aptly explained as to what Trudeau is doing. Now, firstly, what has happened is that as far as giving space to these terrorist elements in USA and Canada is concerned, there are two major reasons, strategic reasons. One is, of course, the vote bank politics, and they want to grab the votes of some of the community, which they feel that they will be able to perhaps help them in elections. The second and more important reason is they, with a rising India, they want to keep a leverage which can be a nuisance creator in rise of India at a point and time when required. And therefore, giving some kind of shelter to such people makes long-term strategic sense to them because they have done it in past and they continue to follow this policy despite getting harmed by this policy a number of times. The third reason is that if we have to draw a parallel, how is it that the USA gets away by killing Soleimani and many other people, and they say that it is as per law and order. Now, what has happened is, I have done a little bit of analysis. They have followed a policy that they have first declared the guy as international or UN designated terrorist. And thereafter, they try and justify that particular issue. Now, we have very clear-cut policies. We don't do extrajudiciary killings and we don't interfere in anybody's internal affairs. The fact that this guy, if they know that the media has said, government has not said anything, that there are two suspects who are likely to be arrested. Now, why are they waiting for? They should have already arrested it. So that means perhaps it is a business as usual. I don't think they are taking it as it is like a still attitude of the government there in Canada. Now, what we should do is, certainly we should load UN with a lot of data pertaining to all the terrorists who have done such acts in India.
Okay.
And that we are in the UN committee of the counter-terror groups. I think there is a case where we should take it up in a manner that all these guys get declared as UN designated terrorists.
Okay.
After that, tackling them will be much easier.
But my point here, sir, is there have been a number of terrorists. There was Osama bin Laden, who was declared as a global terrorist. What happened after that? America had to neutralize him. They had to enter into Abbottabad. He was killed. And that was being termed as following rules of law. There was no question asked for Obama that why was this neutralization happened. You entered into Pakistani soil and then you killed this individual. He was a terrorist because he was designated so. And then when India designates Gurpatwant Singh Pannu as a terrorist, no action is taken against him. So are we then forced to do these? Are we supposed to operate like the Mossad? Are you supposed to operate like the CIA? Are we supposed to then build our own RAW and ensure and use our intelligence service forces to ensure that these terrorists are neutralized who are harming India, who are coming in India's growth and prosperity? Quickly getting a response from Raja Munib on this.
Thank you, Megha. Good evening, and good evening to my fellow panelists as well. Megha, I think what Indian government needs to do is it needs to take a series of steps to, address this menace. First of all, what they need to do is they need to cancel the OCI cards of all these guys and all their supporters. After that, they need to confiscate their properties in India under UAPA, under the law. They should also, under the new criminal law, go ahead and declare them as proclaimed offenders. They should seek, going into the UN is a very technical kind of a step. We have been trying to do that with Sajid Mir of LET for a very long time, but China has been vetoing it. So I think the extradition you should be sought under the Interpol. They should be taken into consideration. They should be taken into confidence. We should seek their extradition through Interpol. And after that, once you cull their wings, Nijjar once said that in the era of peace, the militant man attacks himself. So once you cull their wings, Megha, what is going to happen is that these guys are going to, attack themselves on the land which is fostering them. And once they start creating trouble like they have been doing in Canada, we are seeing a series of killings. It's not about Nijjar. There was a drug mafia don who was, assassinated a few months ago as well, and was called as an inter-gang rivalry. So essentially, these gangs, these terrorists, what are they going to do is they're going to fight among themselves for the space and going to eliminate themselves. Now, if you see on the diplomatic front, if you want to see the theater of absurdity, how a circus is run, you need to learn how the circus of diplomacy is run through the Canadians. Because since day one, the Canadians have not given an iota of proof. They have been harping about a line called credible allegations. I don't know what that means, but allegations are never credible. They're always uncredible allegations. On top of that, now they have gone and announced that they have, identified 2 people and they know the government links also. If they know the government links, do you think that when the CIA or the Mossad carries out the assassinations in other countries, they keep their assassins in that country for the police to track them actively and find their links, or it's a quick in and out job of the country? So it looks like, it looks like the Canadians have not got it. It's something which is called alter ego, and Trudeau has got a big alter ego. And he wants to massage his alter ego, because if you look at the US and India, when US made the allegations and they got one of our citizens, blamed him and named him, the Prime Minister himself said that we'll look into it. If he's our citizen, we'll look into the allegations as well. So I think Trudeau is somebody who really has an attention-seeking mode on here, and he really wants to go ahead and, try to find himself altered with the US president, and he wants some kind of response from India, which he's not going to get because his case has absolutely no legs to stand on.
Okay, all right. RP Singh, quickly a response from you. Now, we've taken a look at all the problems that have arisen because of this Khalistani terrorist organizations that are being given safe havens by the Canadians, by the Canadian government. And there has been this entire, negative propaganda narrative that has been built against India, that there were Indian agents that were involved in killing of Nijjar, that there were Indian agents that were involved in the attempted assassination of Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. Why is it that the world gets surprised if these quote-unquote double agent works, or we talk about the intelligence agencies of India work in secret to eliminate, to neutralize these individuals, these terrorists? And this is an allegation that has been put forth. But when the same question arises for CIA, the same question arises for the Russian Secret Service, the same question arises for Mossad, nobody blinks an eyelid.
Megha, this is a good tasket for a Hollywood movie or a Bollywood movie. But until unless it's backed with some evidence, or until unless we know there are proper evidence to that, we can't say anything on that. I mean, as I said, Canada or America, they want to use Khalistan as a tool. And as per me, there is a China angle also on the Nijjar story and the Canadian story, that they want to defame India. Somehow they want to defame the present dispensation also. They want to defame Modi ji, and then they are trying to use this as a tool, as I said. For them, is more of a a political tool, more of a part of the bigger game plan, which they are looking forward for in forthcoming election also. But yes, if there is any concrete evidence, we will surely do the needful. For Mega, I have sent you a photograph of Jagjit Singh Chauhan. Jagjit Singh Chauhan came to India. He was the first man to start Khalistani movement or so-called Khalistan agenda, and he even launched a Khalistan flag and a Khalistan currency and a Khalistan passport. But in 2000, he came to India and said, no, I mean, Khalsa Raj and the Hindu Rashtra are the same. I believe in Indian ideology. I believe in Indian constitution. And he came and contested even election here. So that's how this Khalistan movement is. It's all for monetary gains, all for monetary benefits. You can, if you need be, because I don't know, I can't see you, but you can need be, you can go through your WhatsApp. I've just sent you.
Yeah.
Well,
I just saw this picture. We'll try to put this out on our screen as well.
This picture, he came and met the RSS chief and said that I 100% surrender to the Indian Constitution. I go by the Indian Constitution. You can read I will send you the cuttings of the newspaper also. You can use it next time also. He categorically stated that I don't believe in separate nation. I don't at all believe in separate nation. So this how this complete ideology is. I mean, and then I'm very clear. Khalistanis are not Sikhs, because no Sikh will ever disallow any person who comes to Gurdwara. They will not do any harm to any person coming to Gurdwara Sahib. Now these Khalistanis are not allowing Sikhs to come to Gurdwara Sahib.
Right.
And then for us, Guru Granth Sahib is a living Guru, and there is nothing beyond that. But they don't believe in this. For them, the Khalistani leaders like Nijjar or Guru Patwant Singh Pannu or others are the new leaders or the new gurus as per them. So there's a categorical difference between the Khalistanis and the Sikhs.
Completely agree with you, sir. Completely agree. Not only are they bringing bad name to the Sikhs across the globe, but they are also at this point of time jeopardizing the country's security, the country's sovereignty and its integrity. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. We'll continue to push our campaign and expose what Canada is doing in wake of protecting the human rights, the freedom of speech of individuals. It is actually giving havens, harboring terrorists, harboring Khalistanis, and taking no action whatsoever, despite the proofs, the evidences that India has given time and again. It will be not incorrect to blame Justin Trudeau for any of these Khalistani terrorist attacks, if at all they were to happen in Punjab, if at all they were to happen in any part of our country. It is on the head of Justin Trudeau that if there are going to be attacks in India, if there are going to be terrorist activities in India, they are going to be held responsible. Trudeau needs to be held responsible.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.